regarding the Eye of the Sahara, also known as the RICHAT structure, I guess there's been a mixed bag of response. There's been some positive people that are bringing up other channels and videos from like years back, and then a lot of people are trying to give Jimmy the credit for this whole supposed Atlantis deal, but even Mud Fossil University was bringing this stuff up a few years ago. I never knew about his channel. That's the honest to God, and I'm on it. I don't lie about it. I never knew his channel existed until maybe not even a week ago, and I didn't even look at his videos regarding that. I was more focused on his energy, looking at the energy processes and things like that. But it's been a mixed bag. But overall, I just I'd have to say that it's fascinating that a lot of people are truly interested in Atlantis. That I don't really think there's enough evidence, and maybe that's because it's a conflict zone area, or maybe it's just because nobody really wants to take it seriously. I have seen some sites that they recovered some artifacts from, but those appear to be more of Roman origin, or maybe Phoenician, if you'd say that. If you look at the Minoan civilization, they have beautiful, colorful reliefs, stylized, colorful. They show their culture proudly, the beauty. They show how the people look. They show their daily lives. You'd think you'd expect to see something like that from this area, this site, if it was Atlantis. There's nothing made of orichalcum. There's no major real remnants. And on another channel, I think this guy visiting Atlantis, he mentioned the fact that there might have been a populace of around 1 million people. If there was 1 million people, where are they? They would be kind of strewn out in the desert. If there was a tsunami that washed over the African continent, you'd think that there would be millions of bodies just kind of strewn embedded into the sand. Have any been recovered? That's a lot of people. 1 million people? They couldn't have all got washed out into the ocean. And in that kind of environment, once the waters receded, basically they're perfectly preserved, because the desert environment is perfect to preserve bones. The only thing that's going to get a bone is maybe a scavenger, but you're not going to have a scavenger eat 1 million bones. So you're going to have some kind of more of a remnants of a civilization. It's not that people don't want to believe that this site isn't Atlantis. It's that it doesn't match the descriptions of Plato. Not really. A lot of people look at it, the size, the dimensions. It's all circumstantial. Plato described a series of islands, some larger, some smaller. Now, Africa is a continent, and it is not surrounded by islands. Sorry. So, therefore, it's automatically debunked. It just has to be. It's a fascinating debate, and I'm glad that people are aware of this site, and I think that it's good that we're all kind of spreading our knowledge, but let's keep it at a realistic measure. Let's not get too convinced in ourselves that this is Atlantis, because Atlantis is supposed to be a mythical place of high technology and perhaps some of those beautiful features and carvings known to man. So I just don't see it. And if you really take a look at Google Earth for yourself, the circles aren't really concentric. On the eastern side, it kind of dissolves into this kind of mess, but it's hard to tell exactly how concentric they really are, because let's face it, it's buried in sand, I guess. I guess that's sand. I'm assuming that's sand. But there are currently civilizations still over there. You're always going to have a human civilization wherever you have a nice river. There's rivers over there, and if you go on Google Earth, you can clearly see there's still people dwelling there to this day. And there were Roman legions marching through there, and probably Phoenicians and Persians, and who knows. There were people roaming and trying to conquer each other since the dawn of time. So, those artifacts, they're just circumstantial. Nothing made of orichalcum, nothing to really indicate an Atlantean civilization. So, in my mind, it's debunked to a certain extent, but you also have to maybe think more research must be conducted. We don't know. If more research is conducted, who knows what could turn up. I mean, I'm not going to discount it. People discounted the existence of Troy until, the archaeologist discovered it. He stuck to his guns, and I respect that. But, he had a lot more clues about the location of Troy in the historical narrative. That helped him a lot to find Troy in the first place. So, if this place has any connection to Atlantis, so be it. But I don't really see it that way. I think it's just an anticline structure formed from a geological process. And until some more evidence comes up, that's all I'm going to conclude at this point. Thank you very much. Have a good day.